You're listening to DraftKings Network.
This is the Dan Batard Show with the Stugotz podcast.
One of the amazing things to happen after the breakup of the Brady-Belichick relationship, and there are many, and it really is an amazing thing, that universally one of, if not the best coach in the history of sports, not just that sport, but sports, unwanted this year by any team that wants a leader, and therefore graduating for the moment to a bandage of a broadcasting career. How many places is Belichick going to work? I think, but do not know, when people get tired of me talking about the sports media stuff, that they may not know that one of the things at the crux of Stephen A. Smith wanting as much or more money than Pat McAfee is that Pat McAfee has a contract that pays him X, but also pays for Aaron Rodgers, Belichick, Saban. Stephen A. doesn't have that. Not even
help pays for the team.
First Take, though, doesn't have that. And so Stephen A. wants the power of that. Belichick is going to be on with McAfee, but he's going to be on in a bunch of different places, isn't he?
He's going to be on the Manning cast. He's going to be on McAfee. He's going to be on Inside the NFL and the CW.
Oh, yeah. The CW?
Oh, yeah. They're in the game.
Don't dismiss him.
What are they doing?
They're coming for everybody's stuff.
No, they're doing
Ryan Clark's show. It's a good one.
Yeah, they're actually performing quite well in terms of their sports coverage. It's something that we all snickered at first, but
it's a good show.
Well, not just that. That's always been a great show, but the CW as a player in the sports space is a new thing that got laughed at, but their numbers are doing well, and their coverage is actually pretty good. Yeah.
I'm going to need the help from all of you when you say the CW and that show. This is the former Showtime show that used to be old guys.
HBO property, even back then. It's the same property that HBO canceled, Showtime picked up. Now it lives on the CW.
Home of One Tree Hill.
And how has Belichick been with the broadcasting?
Oh, he hasn't done anything yet.
We're not in the pro football season yet.
Yeah, he hasn't done anything yet. But he's a media darling. Early reports are he's going to be a media darling.
Camps are opening up this week.
I know.
It's here.
It's right around the corner.
49 days.
49 days away, Dan.
How do the Packers do it?
Camps are opening up, and God Bless Football will cover it with Stugotz doing shows next week for WFAN. With Billy not knowing that he was away.
I didn't even. He's still here apparently doing something. I don't know what he's doing. I can't track this guy.
WFAT. Billy, you're the producer of that show.
Yeah, correct.
And I fear for you being grandfathered into a situation that leaves Stugotz in charge of something that you're in charge of as the producer.
Well,
but you really do need to wrangle the portion of this that has you doing God Bless Football by yourself because your host doesn't show up or tell you.
Or I take advantage and I build my own empire while he's not paying attention.
Learned well from the king. Learned well. Let's see.
The cat's away.
Yeah.
How do you think Lorenzo got on the show last week? Wasn't a Stugotz suggestion.
Belichick's broadcasting career. What is that CW show now in its newest reincarnation? Because you guys said it used to be, this is one of the original places. I saw that this was a conversation that happened the other day between Pablo and Dominique, where Pablo is saying he is done with the jargon of the sport, and Dominique was saying to Pablo, you're just envious because you can't do some of the stuff that me and Orlovsky can do, where we're teaching people about football in condensed sound bites that are cubes. Belichick and Brady, their entire career, have been terrible in front of microphones, like epically, historically, uninteresting people in front of microphones. And now they're getting broadcasting jobs that are the prime broadcasting jobs.
So to answer your initial question, do you remember how the Dan Le Batard show was on 790 and then on ESPN and then now with DraftKings? It's
Still the same show.
It's always been the same show, just a different place. This happened to Scrubs. Scrubs was on NBC. NBC decides no longer a part of it, goes to ABC. You tune into ABC thinking it's a different show. No, it's the same exact show. The only thing with the CW is, like when they do the wired for sound, you can't hear the F word.
So Inside the NFL started, believe it or not, in 1977 on HBO through 2008. Then it moved to Showtime, 2008 to 2021. Then from 2021 to 2023, Paramount Plus.
Yep. I was there for the Paramount days.
Now it's found its home on the CW. It's Ryan Clark, Chad Johnson, Chris Long's on there, Bill Belichick's on there, Channing Crowder's on there sometimes. I think Jay Cutler was on there a couple times.
Is he still on there? He was
I don't
on
see
the
him
part
listed.
of the Paramount.
Yeah,
Mike, you're saying that it's the same as the Dan Le Batard show goes from 790 to ESPN, but all those people you mentioned have never been affiliated with that show until recently. Like that.
Bring up Lynn Dawson.
Yeah,
Okay.
but Dan, like when it was on HBO, sometimes there'd be new cast members. Like
They cycle through.
Yeah,
like,
you cycle. The show's been
often.
around for a very long time. Sometimes
show?
Yeah, but sometimes you
Yeah.
make an investment like, okay, we signed Ray Lewis. He's going to be amazing. We signed Jerry Rice. He's going to be great at this. And then we signed a 2-year deal. I wish it was a 1-year deal because they're not that good at this. Let's get the new name. Oh, who's a new name? Julian Edelman? Let's do that same thing. All right, maybe we have a different fit for it.
think like F-Boy Island used to be on Max, then it went to the CW. Or
Again-
Scrubs, maybe. Scrubs.
Yeah, well, he
That one
mentioned
is
that.
changed.
Scrubs, yeah. NBC to
American
ABC,
Idol
yeah.
used to
Yeah.
be on Fox. Now it's on
Brooklyn
on
Nine-Nine.
How
ABC.
with that,
to
huh?
Fox.
American Idol burned out at Fox, and then there was a bidding war to get it back just a year later. Who would have thought? Who
Family
thought that?
Matters.
Yeah, what?
Yeah,
Yes,
went from
CBS.
ABC to CBS.
Really?
Family does matter.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Again, the show you guys are describing, if you make all of the personalities be personalities who haven't been there for the last 2 years because they're all new, it ceases to be the same show. It
But
may
they're
have
not
the
all
same.
new.
It may
No.
say, well, how many of those people you
Chris
just
Long,
mentioned?
Ocho, and Ryan Clark were on last season.
Yeah, Channing
Belichick's
Crowder,
the only.
Channing Crowder goes back if he's still around there. Like, yeah,
Forgive
You
me,
remember you
I'm-
could always count on Boomer Esiason. Boomer Esiason
Yeah.
had a hell of a run. on
And Nick Bonicani. Yeah.
What a run! Oh,
Chris
man.
Collinsworth, I believe,
I'm
was
old
on there
enough
for
to
a time.
remember those years.
I think Dan Marino was on.
Yeah, he
actually.
was. He was. Dion, I think, maybe briefly. Like, oh man,
What is the best version of that show? Because again, the
it's always
correction
good-
that you guys are making on me, you say some of these people were on a year ago. They're all new cast members. That doesn't become the same show just because it has the same name.
Saturday Night Live doesn't have the original cast.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So,
true. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
I was literally just going
Checkmate.
there. Like when you were asking, like, what's the best incarnation of the show? It's the cast that you grew up with, because it taps into nostalgia.
Yeah.
So like it's a crew that you grew up watching or have the fondest memories of. That's what you're gonna say is the best. It's a different show aesthetically. There's a different graphics package. I do wish that they could just start it back up and I could just dial into the mid '90s HBO version of it. But that's not how evolution works, Daddy-O.
You haven't sat back and thought, oh man, remember the Brandon Marshall years of Inside the NFL?
Michael
They do it all
Irvin.
the time.
Michael Irvin had a cup of coffee on
Yeah,
there.
oh yeah. JB.
I want to see if I can find the sparks between Mike and Billy on what just happened with Lionel Messi, because I know that Billy and Greg Cody have been opposite Mike Ryan for a while. Yeah, you were mocking the other day the fact that he got injured grotesquely
No, I would not mock that.
with his ankle during Copa, which means he doesn't appreciate his Miami and MLS allegiances as much as he likes, because he's out there playing for his country in a game that really matters as opposed to his MLS obligations.
Well, Mike and I think, found common ground. We were talking about this just this morning, and it seems as though Messi has finally got his head on straight, and he's focusing on the big cup in the MLS.
Yeah, Billy's been pretty consistent that the only competition that matters is not any of these invented side trophies that you would attribute a value to. It's when he Googles Inter Miami and he Googles standings, that's the trophy.
table.
That's the trophy that matters.
Yep.
And Messi, because he's not physically capable. He's foregoing this league's cup, it would appear. He's not going to be able to play in this competition, which means the next time he plays, he's got a serious ankle injury. The next time he plays, it's going to be in that MLS Cup pursuit, which is in part the only cup that matters because it might be the only cup they actually have a shot at now.
It's also been the one that's eluded him his entire career. Never won one.
Never won one, even though he's only played a half season.
Copa, he's won what? Two Copas now?
Yeah.
He's got 2 Copas. He's got 1 World Cup. No MLS Cup.
Now, your takes would be somehow even hotter if you could seize on the fact that Inter Miami without Messi
look like dog shit. Sorry, pardon my French. Not great. It got to the point, Dan, that the opposing crowds, I don't know if you've seen this, are chanting, "You need Messi." Have you seen that? What do you think about that?
So you probably just saw that Cincinnati game.
Not dog shit.
Yeah.
Well, I watch them all.
So there was like one loss in that part of the column where I was going at Inter Miami without Messi. Pretty freaking
terrible.
Good. No,
they're good.
Amazing without him.
No, that's not what I heard.
They're incredible. They just won last night, 3-1.
I don't focus on the W's and L's. I look at the kind of morale.
I think you
have to
literally
wonder.
just focus on an L, which was the Cincinnati
You have
thing.
to
And
wonder,
you said flatly terrible when the record is that was
bad.
the only loss on it.
But you have to wonder when this team's going to revolt, right? He brought all of his Avenger friends over here to come play in Miami and Fort Lauderdale at formerly Drive PNK Stadium. It's something else now, right?
It's
Chevron Stadium
now.
or something. Whatever it's called. He brought all his friends here from all of their big Euro leagues and Euro teams, and now he's not even playing. And David Suarez is probably looking around. He's like, "What am I doing?"
It's how soccer works at every club.
It's also Luis Suarez.
That's the one.
And his friends are kicking ass.
Yeah, well, they're
As
kicking
is the
ass now,
entire
but
team.
at a certain point, you think, you know what? I came here to play with my friend Leo, and Leo's not playing, and now I have to carry all this weight. Should he even hoist the cup? Should we win it? I don't know. I don't know.
They're doing tremendous.
They're going to get mad. I'm telling you, the resentment is coming, and there's going to be some infighting.
Resentment? He
Trust
got them
me,
jobs.
He got them jobs, and then he's not doing his own. That's not how that works. You don't say, "Hey, come, let's hang out. I can't go to set a fair." I don't want to do that.
But he's doing what you asked him to do, which is just only care about the MLS. He's not even going to attempt to play in this league's cup.
You're trying to trap me here. I don't think that you believe that that's what he's doing. I don't think that you believe that that's what he's doing.
Not trying to trap
I don't
you.
think that you think that he cares about Inter Miami.
Billy's
That's what I
like
don't think.
Billy Joel playing Piano Man right now. You're
Oh,
bored.
that hits
Billy's,
different on a
Billy's
Saturday
even
night.
bored with this. Billy's like just singing Piano Man right now.
He literally called him David Suarez.
Yeah, that's his name, isn't it? What's his name? Diego? What's his name?
Are you mad at Messi?
Am I mad at him?
Yeah, because he is not treated respectfully the only city you've ever loved.
I don't understand what he's doing. Why are we doing photo shoots with
doing
him
what
wearing a
every soccer
jersey?
player would
Why are
do.
we doing photo shoots with him wearing a jersey he refuses to wear on the pitch? He'll wear any jersey, but now they have this new Dolphins-looking jersey for their team. It's so cool looking. He's never going to wear it. Never. I want to go support this team. I never know if he's going to play or not. He doesn't know if he's going to play. More often than not, he doesn't play. I just respect the city, man. We embrace you when no one else wanted you.
Everybody would have wanted him.
No, it was us in Qatar.
Everybody would have wanted him.
It's what he wanted.
One of my very favorite summer traditions is finding a baseball park somewhere else in the country, not here in Miami, where I can go take in a game. It's something I've tried to do every year. I've gotten to see a ton of really cool ballparks all across the country. And this year, I'll be getting my tickets through the Game Time app, because Game Time is an authorized ticket marketplace of Major League Baseball, which makes getting tickets faster and easier. I'm looking forward to another game down here in Miami. The Pittsburgh Pirates are coming to town soon. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer you get to first pitch, with killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. Take the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code DAN for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code DAN for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed.
Don Le Batard.
I'm just here to say one thing. The Knicks are back.
Stugotz.
Tyrese Halliburton, 6 points, fraud. Everybody was like, yo, he's better than Jalen Brunson. He's better than the Knicks should have drafted him. Fraud.
This is the Don Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
He is our senior Knicks correspondent. He's the commissioner of fandom. He's here on official comedy business, though. I just saw his special last night. It's great. He is a maximum professional. You've Changed is the name of it. Amazon Prime Video. He's also currently on tour. SamMorril.com for show and ticket info. And I believe him to be the architect of the single best bit going on in comedy right now, which is he appears on morning shows, morning television shows all over the land, and appears to clearly not want to be there, and the whole thing blows up around him because human beings don't know how to react to his awkwardness. I thought he would only be brave enough to do it in Hawaii or with some of the local shows, but he sabotaged Morning Joe the other day because he doesn't have respect for anything in morning television. So, Sam, take me through what it is that you're doing there, how much you're enjoying it, and how mad these people are getting at you because you're not respecting what they do for a living.
Well, that one was weird because I had a publicist there with me who was like, "Do not burn Morning Joe to the ground, dude. This is a big show. Don't do it." And I was like, "Well, I think it'd be rude to treat Morning Joe any differently than one of these local Hawaii shows, you know." But I go in there and he clearly hasn't seen the special, but I guess some booker there did and liked it. So the booker or producer, whatever, is feeding him questions from me. And all I did was he said, "Oh, you compare guns and babies masterfully." So I'm like, in my head, I'm like, well, I know he hasn't seen this, but someone told him to say that. But he's kind of set me up to tell a guns and baby bit, and the punch of that bit was basically, both will be in school soon. So I just saw his look go like this is not my type of comedy. But it just didn't make any sense because he pretended he loved it, but then he was like, "Oh, I don't like this guy." So that just made it weird. And I just had to kind of go all in on it. And then I told Al Sharpton I think he'd be a huge fan of mine. And, what's he going to do? He's looking right at me. He's like, yeah, I think so. But it was just, it was a mess. It was.
So what do you say to your, what do you say to, I'm sorry, what do you say to your publicist after that? Because it didn't go well. It went well for you. It went well because you don't respect these things. And it probably went well with your fans who like you to make things extra awkward. But what does your publicist say afterward?
She was laughing. Like, what else am I supposed to do? I didn't do anything that bad in that situation. I just kind of. I just told a joke from my special that I thought he was teeing me up for, so she wasn't really upset. I mean, yeah, sometimes those shows, those MSNBC shows, are kind of humorless. So, or they'll like set you up for jokes and then just kind of like, I remember I went on Ari Melber once and he just would like kind of like set me up for jokes and then just like stare at me and be like, and you're like, yeah, well, what do you want me to do with this? There's just like this type of like elitism where they're just like, all right, dance, clown, and then you do dance for them because it's it's TV, and they're just like, nah.
Take me through though the idea of it, because it's made me laugh every time I've seen you do it, and you're not being disrespectful. You're just sort of being yourself in environments that are kind of fraudulent.
That's the main thing, right? Like these morning TV shows are not. That's why I think people like them, because they're like, no one talks like this anymore. Like you worked in broadcasting forever, Dan. You never spoke like this. You just speak like yourself. So when you're watching a TV show and a guy's like, "So tell me what you've done with it's like, well, that doesn't look like a real person. So it's already kind of funny to just speak like I speak, And and I mean, we did one in Utah, and the only times I really get booked on morning shows, none of my friends will do them. They're like, "You're a psycho. You wake up at 8 a.m. after doing night shows just to like ruin a TV show." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll do that." And I was in Utah, and the only ones that really book me anymore, for the most part, are ones that are aware that I do this and they're down to play along. But I guess the female anchor was down to play along, and the guy was pissed that I was there. So I'm in the green room with my friend Gary Veter, and we're just hanging. I made him come with me. I was like, I can't do these alone anymore because, it's like a bank robbery. You need a car waiting for you afterwards because it's awkward. It's awkward to just
it's what I love about it. You're purposely descending into how uncomfortable can I make this for everyone, including myself, while everyone's watching.
Exactly. And this one, it's on YouTube, I think. I'm in Utah, and the anchor, this guy's looks like a good looking Mormon dude, comes in and he goes, "Oh, you're gonna mess with me? You're gonna mess with me on the show?" Like, not in a friendly way. Like, he's like trying to like big dog me. And I look at Gary and I go, yeah. And he's just like, "We'll see." Like, he's trying to like big dog me. And I'm just like, all right, that was weird. It was like uncomfortable. We looked at each other like that was really uncomfortable. But, his show's live. He can't really do anything when I go on. So now I'm going to take it a step further. I think I have to. So I just it was like the week the P. Diddy thing broke. So I bring up P. Diddy immediately. And they're like, "We can't talk about that." And I'm like, "Cool. P. Diddy." I just keep doing it. And he's just like getting really annoyed. But the woman is laughing. She's cracking up and the crew is laughing. And then at the end, he was like, "Well, you'll never be allowed back here." And like I have to pretend to be like her. I'm like, "Oh, I can't come back on Good Morning Salt Lake. This is crazy." So then the woman was like, "No, we can have him." Like, she was cool. She was in on it. And of course, the second I get off, I had an Uber waiting because I'm ready. I call the Uber before I go on because I know what's coming. And but I had to
establish a getaway car.
I have to. You have to have a car ready. So as I'm leaving, the whole crew's stopping me for like selfies because they're like, "We hate him." So I'm like a hero to the crew.
The idea, though, and I'll get to other stuff in a second, the idea for it comes from where? Because the first time you did it, you're now actively seeking stuff that is discomfort because this bit is so funny. But not unlike Ali G, you're finding it more difficult to find people who you can blindside.
Yeah, well, unlike Ali G, I'm just myself. Like, he didn't go on as Sacha Baron Cohen. That's the thing. He's like, "Well, I was doing a character." People are like, "Man, Sam Morril's a piece of shit." That's what I get, But yeah, it's getting a little harder. It's getting harder I did one recently that they didn't air. The hard thing is when it's not. I told my PR person, like, I'll only do it if it's live, because if they tape it, they'll just cut everything I do out. But she's like, "We got you on a big one. It's not live. But you should do it. And if you do enough, they're going to have to leave some of it in." I did like a 7-minute interview. It ended up airing like a minute 30 because they're just like, "Yeah, none of this. We're not allowing anything you do on TV." So you just have to awkwardly leave an ABC studio like, "Thank you," but they're like, "Get the fuck out."
SamMorril.com for show and ticket information. And like I said, You've Changed is the Amazon Prime Video. Your career has been interesting for a number of different reasons. One of them being you took a YouTube possibility and turned it into something from risk into legitimate business. What can you tell me about what you feel is different or done better as you've arrived at a place in your evolution where it makes you better than you've ever been?
What do you mean? Like
with You've Changed?
I was also confused.
With You've Changed.
How did the Packers do it?
How do you feel about where you've arrived in your career and why this special would be better or different than the others you've done?
I like this one better than my last few for sure, just because I got to take time with it. I got to tour with it. I feel like I rushed a couple in a row. Like, I did a rooftop COVID thing, which was cool to do because nothing was open in New York, but I wasn't exactly in good comedy shape at the time. And then I did a Netflix one, and I kind of rushed that one because I had to have a new hour for a theater tour, so I had to kind of rush a special out to tour on. And this one, I finally took a minute to really breathe and write, and hit over 90 cities for this one to really make sure it was tight, and Australia, Europe. I took it all over. Like, let's make sure there's funny everywhere. And I think that's kind of what you have to do,
Well, it's extraordinary. Like, it's your efficiency with the joke telling. There's just, I don't know how you do this part of it, but there's not a lot of fat in these.
Yeah, well, that comes from just like telling it again and again. And I hate doing this, but I used to open for Dave Attell, and he would say like, you have to listen to your sets. You have to like force yourself. It's like the most miserable part of it because like I'm sick of me. So, but then I'm like, oh, I have to listen to me. But then you just you've learned to just fast forward through the set and listen to the part that the new jokes, and you're like, let me just try to add on to the new jokes. And the stories are the hardest because I'm not a natural storyteller. I'm more of a joke writer. So, but you need stories if you're doing an hour, or it's going to be really hard to keep filling hours. You need to tell, and you listen, you're like, man, why doesn't hopefully the ending already, and then you kind of fill in the blank. But sometimes you're telling it, you're like, how is this supposed to end? I don't even know. So it's a lot of falling on your face, trial and error. Like, let's see if this works. And that's why you have to tour. Like, if I see a comic put out a special and it's loosey-goosey and indulgent, I'm like, oh, this fucker took it to L.A. and New York, and that's it. You better be going to Chattanooga and Knoxville and everywhere with your comedy to make sure you're cutting the fat and making it as good as possible.
How do you settle on the outfit?
The suit?
Yeah, I didn't love the shirt, if I'm going to be honest with you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was going through and I was like, I don't watch this, but I don't know about this shirt. I'm not 100% sold.
What a hard person to sell there, Jesus.
Yeah.
I don't like this guy's shirt. I'm not going to watch his comedy.
Man, I'm going to commit to 90 minutes of this shirt. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have to admit, I'm interested now to see what the shirt is. I'm going to go check it out.
See, there we go. We got another viewer. Man, I didn't realize that the Batard show was going to be so fashion forward here. But
well, look at him. Look at everyone in this room criticizing a shirt that I didn't give a second thought to. Like, what's wrong with the shirt?
Everybody.
Guess who did approve it, motherfucker? Tan France from Queer Eye, who picked the outfit out for me.
Pick up that name.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I just dropped his name.
Come on.
Yeah, here's what happened. Here's what happened with the outfit. Nate Bargatze's a comic that I've known forever, and he's a dude that he did an Amazon special, so I kind of hit him up before, just asking advice and trying to pick his brain. And he was like, go with Amazon this time, mix it up. And he said, I want you to wear a suit. I think it'd be really cool. And I was like, really? And he goes, yeah, I think it's like, he's like, you've done enough specials where yeah, you don't like the shirt though.
Well, but Sam,
I was expecting
I don't
purple
get it. It's
when
just
he
a
said that.
white. It's a white dress shirt.
It's got a collar on it.
It's a white dress shirt. I don't have any idea what Billy's
It's not
objecting
totally white.
to.
It's a little off-white.
Yeah,
but yeah,
off-white,
I would have thought it was a
vertical
Knicks
stripes, I don't
shirt.
know.
That's what I'm used
Tan
to.
France
Like, I
approved.
guess it's just jarring because it's different from what we've seen. Oh, by the way, congratulations on Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
had to wrap it.
Discount.
Yeah, I'm pumped about him. But yeah, I'd never like done an adult special, and this was finally one where I had a budget to really play with. So that's why the backdrop. Hopefully you don't hate that too. I thought it looked cool as tried to make it look like an old school film noir or something, like an alleyway. And so it was the first special I had like a real budget. So I felt weird not dressing up if I'm dropping all this money on the backdrop.
Sam, don't get distracted by them laughing at the background. He's purposely an anarchist asshole. Like it's his role on the show. It couldn't be any more benign it's a benign dress shirt.
I think Billy cut Sam a little bit. I got him on his heels just a little
No,
bit.
I'm not
because maybe
second guessing it at all.
Just talking.
You're saying that you didn't second guess it now, but when you were presented with it, where you're like, I don't know if this like fits people's perception of me.
Yeah, of course. But I did. Luckily, I had Vegas like 2 weeks before, and it doesn't feel right to wear a suit in some places. But I was like, I'll throw a suit on for in a casino. It feels kind of natural. It was like pictures of Sinatra and everyone everywhere. So I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot, and it felt fine. I was like, this works.
You look good, Sam. Don't let him undercut you.
That's fine. I'm just curious. I'm just asking.
Tell us more about how you felt about everything that happened with Brunson. And it seems like, and I don't blame him, I'd do the same thing if I was in charge. It seems like this is all nefarious stuff to get around the salary cap.
Why do you call it nefarious?
Because you're working with your relationships to get someone to take $113 million less than anybody else would take in the same situation.
I think, look, it's been over 50 years since the Knicks have won a championship, so I think he knows what he's doing. He's trying to achieve New York immortality. He wants to win. He's a dude who clearly it's all about winning. And now we got Bridges, and I think all these guys just want to win a championship in New York together. Like, man, how good is the 30 for 30 going to be if these 4 guys win a ring in New York after what they did at Villanova? I think it's awesome if they could do it.
You would agree that Philadelphia is still ahead, correct? Or would you not agree with that?
You think they have a better team? I don't know. I think it's pretty tight. I think that, look, Daryl Morey did a great job. I got to give him credit. I think he's a really good GM, and you brought back Oubre, which was big. You lose Tobias Harris, which is also big, and then you pay a lot of money for Paul George. It's expensive, but no doubt he's a great player. And then who else? I mean, a big 3, if you're healthy, of Maxey, George, and Embiid is tough as hell. But I don't think the Knicks are done. I don't think you can be done. I think you gotta get a killer backup center, and I think it's a good series. I don't know. I think I'm always going to go with my heart, which is the Knicks, but I think you got to put the Celtics first because they're the defending champs, and then I think Philly and the Knicks are the next 2 best teams, and then Milwaukee.
So you don't get scared of what Philadelphia just did? Like, obviously, you were playing them 2 against 7. All the games were close. Embiid wasn't quite right. You can't always trust Embiid's health, but you add Paul George as the replacement to Tobias Harris. That is a pretty big upgrade.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah. But, PG and Embiid they're 2 dudes that are never really healthy. So I don't know. We added Mikal Bridges, and hopefully we bring in a killer backup center. The Knicks are looking pretty good too, I think. But yeah, I hear you. Maxey's unbelievable. They're a tough team.
You're going to be down here performing several shows in August. Then you go to Europe in September. You got Dublin, Paris, Amsterdam, Stockholm, London. Do you have a city where you've been stunned that they love you, that you can't believe that your reach extends to there?
Yeah, I already sold out a show in Amsterdam, and I'm like, how the is this possible? I'm definitely. I can't say I'm like super pumped because I think like 21-year-old me would be like, I got to bang a prostitute, but I'm 37. I'll probably go to the Anne Frank house or something,
Why are you popular in Amsterdam? Do you have any
I don't know. I think they like comedy there a lot, I think. I think they have a big comedy audience.
Because your business, you have to be sophisticated about knowing what sells, do you not? You can't. I think a lot of people think that comics aren't quite as calculated as they have to be, given that there's no safety net, no health benefits, and you're responsible for your funny paying for everything.
Yeah, I think Europe surprises you. Like I did Australia last year. I didn't think I'd sell tickets in Australia, but people came out, and it's surprising to go to a new place and people are happier there. But look, there's some places like Sweden ain't selling well, so you never know.
All right, Sweden. You've Changed is the name of the special Amazon Prime Video. Again, he's a master of his craft. It's great to have him as our senior Knicks correspondent. Thank you, Sam. Good seeing you again.
Thanks, dude.
All right, everybody, it's finally here. Best Ball Week at DraftKings, my favorite time of the year. And DraftKings Best Ball Millionaire Contest is the biggest fantasy contest ever at DraftKings. A $15 million guaranteed prize pool with 2 millionaires being crowned. DraftKings is offering everyone a Draft One, Get One special. Your $20 entry fee scores you a bonus ticket. It's Best Ball Week here at DraftKings, and download the DraftKings app and use code DAN. That's code DAN, D-A-N, for all customers who enter the NFL Best Ball $15 million millionaire contest to get a bonus ticket and get a shot at being crowned one of the 2 millionaires, only at DraftKings.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY at 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. 18 and over in most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. Eligibility restrictions apply. One per customer. Enter the Best Ball $15 million contest by 9/5/24 to get one bonus entry. $20 entry fee required. Reward expires at contest lock on 9/5/24. See terms at DraftKings.com/DFS.
Don Le Batard.
We didn't get to your guys' against the spread.
You're right.
I don't have it against the spread because I wasn't prepared for this segment.
You need an Ian in your life.
You have actively played defense against me today in a way that has rarely been this undercutting.
Stugotz.
Defense wins championships, baby. That's show business.
This is the Don Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
he was less enthusiastic about the Knicks in his energy level that I wanted to be, and I think it's because Billy took him out. I think Billy.
It's a nice shirt.
I know,
It's a nice shirt.
Looks really good.
Man can't ask a question.
I just don't understand why. It's just.
It's a curiosity of mine. You wonder about joke construction. I wonder about fashion choices because these specials are going to be out there forever. How do you choose what to wear?
But when you said that, I'm like, man, this must be like a bright color,
a polyester disco shirt.
I am so interested. And then
blue
Billy's
and
like,
orange.
here it is, and it's just like
Just a little off-white
basic suit that I've ever
vertical
seen.
stripes. I don't know. I mean, but look at videos of how he normally dresses. It's not like that. I'm just curious. I'm sorry that this piqued my curiosity. Sorry I offended Sam Morril. What's that? Wow. The spread.
Nope.
No.
That's right. It's time for Thursday Thunder.
Oh, you can't say that's right when he gets the wrong bit.
Yeah,
That's
he's
wrong.
Actually.
Yeah,
that's wrong.
And it's brought to you by DraftKings. Stay tuned because you'll hear more about what DraftKings has to offer throughout the show. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Juju cooked it up. Jeremy, what do we got?
We've got an incredible pick because I don't know if you guys know this, and not everyone does, but the WNBA All-Star game this year is the WNBA All-Stars against Team USA. And that's going to be a really awesome matchup.
Yeah,
Team USA minus 238. That's who we're choosing here. We're taking Team USA over the All-Stars.
A giant favorite.
Giant favorite. They'll be the first part. Baseball's back on Friday. Juju's from Atlanta. The Atlanta Braves hosting the St. Louis Cardinals. We're taking the Braves minus 175.
Giant favorite.
And finally, Muhammad Usman fighting against Thomas Peterson. We're taking Usman minus 130.
How did those do while I was away? Did we win any of the Thursday?
Yes.
Just tell them yes, guys.
Yes, everything.
Sure, yeah.
Crushed
I think,
it.
yeah.
Every single bet that we told people to take, it won.
I took Team Chevy to win the NASCAR street race. They won.
Oh.
Did NASCAR did better ratings than Wimbledon?
Look, I'd never thought I was ever an influencer, but NASCAR's pulling some dubs ever since I decided to come along to the fray. So we can't rule it out. Yeah, no, it dwarfed the size of the Wimbledon men's final. Now, maybe some of that could have been because it wasn't a great final and that it was just 3 sets and it didn't last super long, but that's Djokovic, that's Alcaraz. This is the tricky triangle in Pocono. This is really encouraging for NASCAR, especially as they're heading into new deals. They have Amazon and whatnot. I'm telling you, this might be the first time in national history where a sport used to be referred to as the fastest growing sport in America and totally blew that opportunity. And then maybe 15 to 20 years later can once again be referred to as the fastest growing sport in America.
Can I reach out to you as an ally here and a fellow seam head? Yesterday, no.
Gearhead.
No, seamhead. This is where I'm going.
Baseball.
Baseball?
Baseball, yeah.
Yeah.
Seamhead.
Go M's.
Yesterday, I was telling everyone how great Justin Steele is and how she'd hammer the steel. And no one wanted to buy. And you were there in person.
I was there.
You
It's
watched it.
complete
Hammer
game.
the steel. They call us the Masons. Big Justin Steele fans because we hammer the steel.
No, that dude works quick. Big fan. Yeah. Big fan of how fast he
I'm
works.
telling you, hammer the steel tomorrow.
Also, I don't know if anyone's ever said this. Wrigley, great park.
One of the few.
I don't think anyone's ever
No one's ever said that. One of the few places I've ever been where I got goosebumps walking into the place. But I think that's a very controversial.
You got goosies.
Yeah.
I got.
Wow.
I went. It was my first time. I had like tickets to Wrigley for a Marlins game when I was more into baseball. It was during my honeymoon, and the game got rained out. Len Casper hooked it up via Boog. And now Boog, who I just casually ran into on the streets in Chicago when someone was just shouting across the way, he had already hooked me up with tickets, but I actually got to meet up with him just like by happenstance. It was wonderful. He hooked up my family with tickets to go see the Cubs. And I wanted Juliet to really experience it and understand that there was something here. But how do I explain the history of this place to a 4-year-old? We watched Rookie of the Year the day before, and so she identified it with the movie. It was amazing.
I'm sure she sat through that.
It was no, she loved it. She loves The Sandlot too. Like she's gotten into like baseball movies. Mighty Ducks, not so much. Mighty Ducks 2, not so much. But it was incredible. Did you know about it? They got bars around everywhere.
Yeah.
Ivy. I mean, there were a lot of passionate fans, and they got a beautiful brand new DraftKings sportsbook that's adjacent to it, which is an amazing place to watch a game. They're doing something right up there.
I owe the audience an apology. Masons work with stone. Blacksmiths work with steel. So if you hammer the steel like me and Mike, you're a blacksmith.
A good correction.
Yeah.
I remember Bobby Bowden one time said that he didn't want to retire because there was only one big event after retirement, which was death. And he also said of nostalgia, he said nostalgia is not so great when you're talking about what it used to be in the dentist chair many years ago, back in my day. So I get the goosebumps walking into Wrigley Field because I know the history, which becomes less romantically nostalgic when you're using a urinal from 1918.
One of my very favorite summer traditions is finding a baseball park somewhere else in the country, not here in Miami, where I can go take in a game. It's something I've tried to do every year. I've gotten to see a ton of really cool ballparks all across the country. And this year, I'll be getting my tickets through the Game Time app, because Game Time is an authorized ticket marketplace of Major League Baseball, which makes getting tickets faster and easier. I'm looking forward to another game down here in Miami. The Pittsburgh Pirates are coming to town soon. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer you get to first pitch, with killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. Take the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code DAN for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code DAN for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed.
Pulling up to Mickey D's just for drinks? Oh yeah, that's me. Nothing extra, just perfection and a straw. Coming in hot for the coldest cups on the block. Because there are drinks. Then there are drinks from McDonald's.
Mix things up with any size lemonade or sweet tea for $1.49. Perfect with our classic fries. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.